Yeah, thanks very much for joining us. Just in terms of particularly the sort of senior living, healthcare side and impact investment, what are
Mhm.
you seeing in the Netherlands at the moment?
On senior living, we see a huge increase of demand. Has everything to do with the demographic build-up, where the baby boom generation is reaching its retirement age, and longevity also an important factor. What you see is there is not suitable supply of residential units for that target group, and we expect to see an increase. Now, what these people are looking for is, you could say, carefree living with care facilities adjacent or nearby on demand. And that's what we focus on.
You've just launched some new ones, which also
Yep.
I noticed that there was a kind of positive approach there to particularly care for the elderly and
Yeah.
enabling residents with dementia to continue
Yeah.
living
Yeah.
independently. So, how does that situation work? Is that a collaboration with a different group? Jaap?
It's in collaboration with the healthcare provider, because you need that. So we're not taking any operational risk from our side. So we met this foundation who specialized in this type of healthcare services. We understand what they are trying to achieve in a particular town, in this case, Bijl, in the southern part of the Netherlands. And we like the idea of creating this positive impact, because what they want to do is have people who have dementia in some stage or another still reside in their local community. That's very important, not only for the people involved, but also for the family involved and the social structure of things. Next to that, we also were able to have a very sustainable new development there. So this is a, almost carbon neutral new built home. So you see there more boxes to tick. It sounds a bit clinical, but it's, really sincere. You're helping people who have difficulty and have frailty. And also possibly might get lonely. You help them to stay in their community on an affordable residential unit with the care services nearby and also on board. It's a very sustainable building.
You were mentioning there that there's a scarcity of this kind of product.
Yeah.
Does that mean that there's a sort of long pipeline of potential opportunity there? I guess also outside of some of the main cities.
It is, and of course, what we look at is how the buildup of the population is. Where do people live? We have very exact figures on that, so we know exactly where there's a large target group of elderly people coming into the marketplace, and there is a lack of supply. Which also, if you strike up your relationship with these healthcare providers, that's very helpful of extending pipelines. So I'm quite sure that we'll build out another development with this foundation, for instance, if there is a need in another town. Most of it will be concentrated in these metropolitan areas, by the way, like the Randstad area, but also not only in city center, but also the suburban part, like Bijl, which is a nice medieval town, actually. Typically a place where people, if they have reached a certain age, would like to stay there because they know everyone and they know the place. You don't take people out of that community into another place where they can't adjust to the new lifestyle.
No, it's been really interesting to follow what's been happening, especially after the crisis, where there's been much more of a
Yeah,
focus on
yeah,
both sustainability, as
yeah,
you mentioned
yeah,
there,
yeah.
but also impact investment in terms of wellness and creating communities. I think is a really interesting area. Thanks very much for joining us, Jaap.
Pleasure.